Welcome to Bryer's Music Showcase. I'm Bryer and welcome to another video. And in this one, we're continuing my 80s series. We're going from 1981 and now we're in 1982. So, as I am going to say in every video, this is all just my opinion. This is not the absolute best of 1982. These are just my personal opinions. And the other twist is that I'm only restricted to what I have in my personal collection. So if you don't see an album that you really love, it's either because 1, I don't own it, 2, I have not heard it, or 3, I just didn't like it. But overall, 1982 was a great year of music, and it's going to show in my top 5. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 5, we have the 4th album from this band. The band is Toto, and here is Toto 4. Not really an original name, but you know, it's whatever. So this was kind of a commercial comeback for them because they had released the first album in 1978, I believe, and that did huge business. And then you have the next two, which I'm pretty sure I haven't heard them, but from what people have said, they're very good, but they weren't commercially successful at all. So this one, they really want to try and get back into the mainstream, and boy, did they do a good job on this one. So you have many hit singles on here. I mean, it starts out with one of them, with Rosanna, great opening track. Then you have other songs like Make Believe, and then you have the ballad, I Won't Hold You Back. You know, I'm a sucker for ballads, so of course I'm gonna like that one. You have other songs like It's a Feeling, Lovers in the Night. Then you have Waiting for Your Love, a great, really underrated song. I don't hear many people talk about that one. And then it closes it out with Africa, which is probably the most famous song on here. You see it a lot. You see it on TV shows, in movies, memes. And people have said it's a bit overplayed, but I still love it. You can't deny it's still a fantastic song. So many great hooks and melodies throughout. And yeah, I mean, the whole band, it's like an all-star of great session musicians. Of course, Steve Lukather, who needs no introduction. You also have Jeff Porcaro with Steve Porcaro, Bobby Kimball. Then you have the other members as well. Just fantastic stuff. So let's just quickly see what's inside this particular CD issue. So you open it up, this is all you get. Pretty standard. This is probably an older copy of this. So this one folds out. So this side you don't really have a whole lot. You just got the artwork, and then but the other side you have the credits and also other information, and then a little photo on the top, which is pretty cool. Okay, and I already showed the disc kind of already, but you know, just so you get a closer look. There you go. So yep, that's my number 5 for 1982. For my number 4, I actually had this one a little bit higher up originally, but it went down a little bit, but it doesn't change anything. I still love it. Of course, it's Judas Priest with Screaming for Vengeance. And you know, it's one of my favorites. It's probably my top 3. I mean, when it comes to my favorite Judas Priest album, it changes quite often. Some days it's Sad Wings of Destiny, other days it's Stained Class, and other days it's this one. So I don't know at the moment, but yep, this is still a killer album. One of my favorites of their 80s stuff. I mean, it starts out with The Hellion and Electric Eye, great opening track there. And then you have Riding on the Wind, Bloodstone, Take These Chains, title track, and then you have the radio hit, You Got Another Thing Coming. So when it comes to getting into metal, Judas Priest was definitely one of them that was kind of like a big stepping stone in my progression. So yeah, if you're trying to get into more heavier music, this is probably a good one to start with. This one or British Steel, one of those two are good intros to the band. And then the more you listen to it, you start going into the more deeper stuff, the more heavier stuff. And that definitely helped me a lot getting into more heavy music. So let's quickly go through what's inside here. This is a remaster, as you can tell. I believe, based on what it says down here, it says 2001, so I'm just going to take its word for it. So open it up. Got the disc right there, just mirroring the cover art. And when you take off the CD, you get it again. So we put that back. And the booklet's pretty short. It's not a whole lot to it. So you open up, you have this front page, and then you have a picture of the band there, all in their leather. because we all know Judas Priest helped popularize the leather and metal. Got the lyrics, more photos, and there you go, that's pretty much it. Another live shot on the back. But yeah, that's my number 4 for 1982, Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. For my number 3, this is one that I'm not sure a whole lot of people know, but when I first heard this, I was immediately hooked onto this one. So we have the Michael Schenker group with Assault Attack. So if you don't know Michael Schenker, he's best known for starting out in the Scorpions originally, and then he left that band, then he joined UFO, and then after he's done with UFO, he makes his own solo career, and this is one of them, and it's absolutely fantastic. I absolutely really love this one. Great riffs, great melodies throughout, and of course the vocals are just absolutely stellar. Of course, the vocals done by Graham Bonnet, a very underrated vocalist, I must say. So this one is another remastered edition. It comes with one bonus track, which was a B-side, produced and engineered by Martin Birch yet again. So how many times has he appeared in this list so far? And I will say it's not going to be the last time, as we'll find out later on in this video. But yeah, they called him Martin the Ninja Birch, which is kind of funny. So on the back, you just have a little, hopefully you can see, but there's a little picture of the band right there. Of course, Graham with the short hair. And then Michael's right next to him as well. So we open it up. I should probably talk about the songs first before we take a look at the inside. But yeah, top to bottom, just absolutely all killer, no filler. You have the title track that starts it off. Pretty much sets the mood, sets the tone. Then you have Rock You to the Ground, Dancer, which is kind of a more commercial sounding song, but so catchy, I love it. Samurai's great. Desert song, just a great, love the atmosphere in that one. Has a good mood to that one. Broken Promises, Searching for a Reason. Then you have Ulcer, which is an instrumental, which is very cool. And then the B-side is A Girl from Uptown. So yeah, absolutely recommend this one. I can go on a little bit further, but let's just see what's inside. So here's the disc right here on the Chrysalis label, Chrysalis Records right there. Kind of funny, there's a butterfly on it, and this is more of a hard rock, kind of a heavy metal album. So I already mentioned Graham and Michael, but the other two members are, let me see if I can find it, Chris Glenn on bass, and you have Ted McKenna on drums. So yeah. So you open it up. This gives you the information, some photos, of course. Here's a lot of photos of the band. So this was the only album to have Graham Bonnet on. Of course, I think he would sing on a couple songs later, very later on, but this was, for the longest time, this was the only album he sung on. From what I remember correctly, he was literally fired like not long before they started touring because he showed up very drunk, and if I'm not mistaken, he exposed himself on stage, and Michael's like, okay, get the heck out of here. But yeah, it's kind of a funny story, but from what I've heard, they've patched things up, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's pretty much the story, and yeah, absolutely spectacular, and might as well point out the album cover is just so badass looking. You have I believe that's Michael holding his the V guitar in the air, although there's like an explosion, like a volcanic explosion in the back. Pretty awesome. So yeah, highly recommend this one. So that is my number 3. At number 2, this individual has appeared in this series twice now. So here we have her next album. We have The Dreaming by Kate Bush. Yep, she makes her second appearance here. Not quite number 1 yet, but not going to say anything, but you'll see later on in the decade. But yeah, this is her next album after Never Forever. We have The Dreaming. At this point, she is fully in the production chair. Like, she has no help on this one. This is all her. This is all her. This is her creation right here, and boy, is this a trip. This is probably her most out there album she's ever done. Like, she's just going off the walls in terms of her vocals. Like, there's so many odd arrangements throughout, and she's definitely experimenting the limits of her vocals. Just absolutely insane, but I love it because of it. So I would say this is probably not a good album to start with if you're thinking of getting into Kate Bush. But this is kind of more of a later, like, once you've gotten used to her style, then you can check this one out. But it's very experimental. So let's open it up. Actually, let's talk about this track list first. So it has "Sat in Your Lap," which that's pretty much the perfect song to start, because it literally, when you hear that first song, it pretty much tells you, like, this is gonna be you're gonna be hearing some weird stuff. So if you can get past the first song, you should be okay. So yeah. Then you have "There Goes a Tenor." Then you have "Pull Out the Pin," which is another like anti-war song. Then you have "Suspended" and "Gaffa," which is probably one of my favorite songs by her. It's just this very theatrical, I don't know how you'd say it, vaudeville or whatever. It's probably not the right word to describe it, but I absolutely love the theatrical nature of it. We'll go with that. Yeah. And you leave it open, the title track, which he kind of sings in almost like an Australian accent. It has kind of like an Australian influence in there, which is kind of interesting. Night of the Swallow, All the Love, Houdini, and then you have "Get Out of My House," which is kind of creepy if when you first hear it. But yeah, absolutely. Again, it's weird, but I love it because of it. That's what I love about Kate Bush. Still not my favorite of hers, but like I said before, we'll get to that later, probably not that long from now. So, talk about what the CD has. There's a little photo of her with the dunce hat on. Then you have pretty much just very similar to the Never Forever CD I showed earlier in this series. Again, different shade, kind of in this reddish color, reddish brown. Then you have a little quote right there. "With a kiss, I'd pass the key." And the booklets right here. And there it is. Open it up, you just got the lyrics. More lyrics. More lyrics. Even more lyrics. And then credits. And the quote again. So there you have it. That's my number 2 of 1982. So now let's go on and let's show some honorable mentions. So for my number 1, this may not be a surprise if you've been following the channel long enough. So number 1, yep, we got Iron Maiden with "The Number of the Beast." To me, this is kind of where Iron Maiden truly became the band that we know and love. And I still enjoy the Paul Di'Anno stuff, but when Bruce joined the band, they really stepped up a whole level, a whole step, shall we say. But yeah, Bruce, just another one of my favorite vocalists, just so operatic, so theatrical, just how he tells the story, just perfect for the type of music that they were writing at this point. Of course, there was a big controversy with this album. Of course, "The Number of the Beast," the title track, is known for having 666 in its lyrics, and many Christian people went out and burned their records, which is kind of interesting. Even though the song is not really like satanic or anything, it's just telling us, it's about a dream basically. But you know, but regardless, like, fantastic stuff. You have "The Invaders," great opening track. Then you have "Children of the Damned," "The Prisoner," 22 Occasion Avenue is a really good one. Like, there's 3 songs I've always, like, over the years I've struggled with, like 22 Occasion Avenue, Gangland, and Total Eclipse. Like, those 3 songs, I've always struggled to remember how they went. I have no idea why, but 22 Acacia Avenue, that's one I've grown to really enjoy. I can remember that one. Gangland, not so much, and Total Eclipse, I might need to hear again. But usually when I hear them, I'm like, oh, this is great, I love these, but then I forget them. I don't know why, but everything else I remember very well. Of course, the title track, Run to the Hills. Then it closes out with Hallowed Be Thy Name, which is probably my favorite Iron Maiden song. Just the storytelling in that song is just absolutely spectacular. I absolutely love it so much. So yeah, that's the album. Let's check what's inside. Yeah. Of course, you have Eddie, just basically has the devil under his control. And on the inside, you have Eddie again, and I believe he's holding the devil's head right there. Don't mess with Eddie. He can do anything. So take a look at the booklet. I mean these reissues of these albums are just so much in them. This came out in 1998. This particular remaster, and boy, did they put so much effort into these. Like, so many photos. Got all the lyrics as well, and each member has their own section. Like, of course, there's Steve Harris, absolutely spectacular, one of my favorite bass players ever. Then here's Dave Murray. There's Bruce Dickinson. Of course, there's Clive Burr, which is the last album he would appear on, and then Nico McBrain would take over after this. Just got this live shot right here. There's Adrian Smith. Okay, and then this continues on with more photos and the lyrics. All right, so there you have it. Those are my top 5 of 1982. So again, in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on these 5, and also if I didn't mention an album that you love from this year, please share it in the comments. I look forward to reading them as always. If you like this video and this series, please give it a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next episode. Probably can't remember what the next video is going to be, but stay tuned. 1983 will be the next episode in this series, so stay tuned for that. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.